fans. It's the coach. That's right. Karl DeMasi on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. Breakfast with the coach up here at the TEEPEE Pavilion. That's right. Right over my shoulder. That shoulder. There it is, the TEEPEE. The producer, the man himself from Rubbin' and Grubbin'. He's still sleeping under an air mattress in there. He was guarding the fort with a good old buddy up here tonight, this last night. So we got to get the show going. But once again, the Braves are in the playoffs. John Edison has to keep the TP up. Okay, we're here. The Tomahawk Chop is going, and it's always a lot of fun. Breakfast with the coach every Saturday morning here at Coach's Corner. Hopefully, I'll be up here a couple of weeks, not just today. But you know what? The Braves took it on the chin last night. They lost 2-1. We got to hopefully they'll be back today and get a big win today at 5:07. So come on down to coaches. You want to come up here and watch the game? Contribute, okay, to helping one of our own. It's an organization in Savannah. It's been here for a long time. John Henderson supports it every year. He's already got his tomahawk cut. You know what? I'll get my head shaved if you give me $500 towards that donation. That's right, toward that charity. $500 donation to help one of our own. You could shave the coach's head right up here on, what are we calling it, the TP Pavilion?
Yeah, TP Pavilion.
TP Pavilion, okay? And he's already showing me the razor. Here it is, right here.
I'm ready.
$500. John's ready for you to shave my head, okay? So come on, do it. Come on around this side, John, quick. Well, he's cleaning up after the stuff they had here. Right here over my shoulder. Here's the man, John. He's ready to cut it. Okay, tell everybody how much fun this is.
This is a lot of fun. It's actually a ball.
And if they want to come up here and they want to donate to help one of our own,
come on up to the bar. Give them $10, give them $5, give them $100, give them anything you want to give them. Come on up, tour the TP, get a picture with Coach DeMasi, myself, whoever you like.
And how big is the area here this year?
We're roughly 800 square foot up here, Coach.
I'm telling you, last year it was half the size. People were crammed. People are trying to walk around. This year you got plenty of room. We got the massage chair. Come up here, give us $5, $10, $20. Get a massage while you're watching Sports Center or your favorite football game, okay? Or, of course, the Braves at 5:07. So we'll do that tonight, okay? Or do that today, all right? I'm getting a little excited here. Mr. Henderson's getting my breakfast. That's right. It's Breakfast with the Coach every Tuesday through Saturday, Tuesday through Friday, from 7 o'clock to 10:30. You can get breakfast right here at Coach's Corner. Hey, it's delish. You got to come do it. And, of course, Saturday morning, it's from 8 to 11. He's getting me a little omelet this week, okay? I've had the pancakes. I've had the French toast. I've had the shrimp and grits. I've had the country ham in honor of my friend Chad Griffin, who now lives up in Atlanta. So, it's a lot of fun. Come get breakfast here. Okay, what do I got on tap today? We're going to do the local scores. The local scores from last night's football games. Who's ranked, who's not, who's in the playoffs. That's inning number 1. Inning number 2, we're going to pick the winners and we're going to break down Georgia football. That's right, with the columnist, Stephen Elmo Weeks. It's going to be about, about 9:15. We're going to talk about Georgia-Auburn, okay? The South's oldest rivalry, 120. This is the 126th edition. Then we got the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week coming on from New Hampstead High School. The Phoenix, this young man ran for 327 yards last week against Windsor Forest. Samari, Dowdy, got to bring the kid on. It hasn't been done in a while. And then, of course, the last segment, it's pre-recorded because the Georgia Public Broadcasting man himself, the sports guru, the voice of Georgia high school football, Jon Nelson's on his way to go check out Auburn and Georgia. So I pre-recorded that yesterday. He's going to break down the first part of the season. We're into the second part of the season. The first part of the season is your non-region schedule. Second part of the season, of course, is the region schedule. And the third part, we get into the playoffs. Here it is. We got to show everybody. How the heck do you like that? All meat omelet for the big guy. The coach. Breakfast with the coach. We got a biscuit. We got hash browns. I mean, I'm loving it. Okay, of course, I'll show you this throughout the show. I won't eat it till the show's over. Well, I'll probably nibble at it in breaks, but I'm excited about it. Here you go. Breakfast with the coach. If that don't look good, you got to 11 o'clock to get down here and have some breakfast at Coach's Corner. Hey, they do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He gives everybody a break with breakfast on Sundays and Mondays, but they're still open for lunch and dinner on Sundays and Mondays, okay? So come on in, check it out. All right, breakfast with the coach. All right, let's get to what's going on here. I got to find a place to put this, even though I want to eat it. All right, I'll do this quick. Let's start with 3 in the door. That's right. Step 1, high school. Step 2 is college. Step 3 is pros. Okay, I got to do this quick because I'm on a time limit here. So I want to get my next guest on at 9:15 so we can have the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, Samari Dowdy from New Hampstead on at 9:30. So here we go. Let's talk about football rankings. BC, Benedictine, and Calvary have moved up in the rankings. Benedictine now is number 3. They moved up from number 4. They're 5-2. Big win last night over Jenkins. And, of course, Calvary, undefeated. They're moved up from number 3 to number 2. They're 6-0. 2 great ball clubs. You got to check them out. Volleyball. We got to talk about volleyball. We got volleyball region area today to crown the champions. Savannah Christian already won their area in the girls volleyball. They're ranked 5th in the state. Woodville Tompkins playing. They're ranked 7th in the state in 2A. Class 3A. Savannah Arts Academy moved up to number 3. Okay, they should win the region area too. And Islands is number 5. They're playing their region area today too. Softball, big upset in Region 2, 6A. South Effingham's been ranked all year. They were ranked 6th in the state. Well, what happens? Effingham takes the number 1 seed. Richmond Hill takes the number 2 seed. And South Effingham goes down to number 3 seeds. Softball playoffs start next week. Islands won Region 3, 4A. Okay, Islands and Jacobs will play home. New Hampshire go on the road. I haven't heard what the private schools have done yet. I haven't heard what Class 3 has done yet, so we'll find out. No, Class 3 went to Class 3, Region 3 went to Southeast Bullock. Okay, and I'll find out what happens with the private schools, the Class A private schools this weekend. All right, last night on the football schedule, let's start Thursday night. Savannah Christian beats Screven County 28-7 out in Pooler. Okay, Friday night, last night, Richmond Hill upsets Effingham County. Hold it. If you hear this, come by Coach's Corner, beep at the TEEPEE Pavilion, and we'll give you a honk on the horn, on the truck horn. All right, I'm doing it right here, but I got to go over here. I just can't go over here, okay? So beep your horn, we'll give you a feedback, okay? South Effingham goes to Glen. Between the bricks, Glen 38-0 over South Effingham. Region 3, 4A. Big matchup. They started region play. Benedictine over Jenkins, 49-6. All right, New Hampstead has not started region play. They'll start next week against Islands. They beat Beach 50-12. Class 3A, Windsor Forest, sole possession of first place. They control their destiny. They beat Liberty County last night, 12-6. Southeast Bullock beat up on Savannah High, 48-7 at Island Stadium. And Giza, excuse me. Okay. Pinewood Christian comes in and beats St. Andrews on the Marsh, 50-19. Memorial Day goes down to Brunswick, gets beat by Frederica Academy, 53-6. Hilton Bethesda travels over to Hilton Head Christian and loses 41-8. Today, out in Island Stadiums, Groves takes on Islands at 12 noon. All right, we got a matinee today, okay? Also, got to tell you, reclassification is going to take place next month. Once we get all the FTE counts, student enrollment counts at each high school, there's going to be a lot of changes, okay? 6A stays the same. Richmond Hill, South Effingham. South Effingham will stay in 6A. Jenkins will move from 4A to 5A. That's the only public school to move up. Islands, Benedictine, and New Hampstead stay in that 4A area, but Beach and Groves move up. 3A, Johnson and Windsor Forest stay there. And who drops down? Savannah High could drop down to 2A. All right, step 2 colleges today. Georgia Tech at Duke, 12:30 start. Georgia Tech, you can't tell. One week they look unbelievable, and next week they lose, okay? Georgia at Auburn, the South's oldest rivalry, 126th edition, takes place at the Plains in Alabama at 3:30. Jordan Hare Stadium, you never know what's going to go on. All right, Erskine comes in and takes on Savannah State. Savannah State 3-0 at SEAC, 4-1 over all. 6 p.m. at TA Wright Stadium. Yours truly will be calling the color, okay? We'll have a play-by-play guy. I'll be the color guy, okay? The old coach on Flow Sports. Check it out. It's on the Black College Sports Network. I'll be doing that live tonight. And then Georgia Southern is out in Alabama. They fire Coach Lunsford almost 2 weeks ago. Last week they run for over 503 yards. They score 50-something points. They're in Alabama against Troy at 7 p.m. Last week, like I said, Savannah State defeated Kentucky State 21-17. They had to hold on again. They go out big in the first half, and they have to hold on in the second half. But once again, a win's a win. They'll be home today at 6 p.m. against Erskine, who comes in at 1-4. Volleyball is 7-7, 500 on the year, 4-5 in the SEAC. They beat Allen the other night. They'll take on Benedict next Wednesday in Columbia, South Carolina. That's a big SEAC match for the Lady Tigers volleyball. SCAD, women's cross country, went to one of the biggest meets in the South, okay, in Charlotte, over 29 teams, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, NAIA, they finished 11th, okay? Talia Sullivan out of Devon, England, she's a painting major at SCAD, finished in 20th with a time of 17 minutes and 58 seconds. That's out of over 305 runners. 20th. Good job. With a finish, Sullivan earns her way into the SCAD record books with the best, with tying the best time, 13th overall. All right, step 3, baseball. The Braves won the NFL East. They lost last night, 2-1. Okay, heartbreaker. Morton goes into the 7th inning, pitching great, gives up a 2-run home run. Braves come back. Jock Pederson hits a home run. It's 2-1. 9th inning, they got people on base, but they couldn't score. Okay, so we'll go today. 5:07. You want to come up here and watch it on the Coach's Corner Pavilion, TEEPEE Pavilion? Come on up. Go to the bartender, pay some bucks, come up and watch it with John Henderson and the crew. You'll have a lot of fun. Max Fried starts tonight. And all-star right-handed Brandon Woodruff pitches for the Brewers. Okay, Fried has gone 7-0 with a 1.46 over the last 11 months. The Falcons, they're up 30-27 with less than a minute to go. They lose to the Redskins. Oops, I'm not allowed to say that. They lose to the Washington football team. With 33 seconds to go, they lose 34-30. They'll be in London. They'll be across the pond, okay, tomorrow in London, taking on another horrible team. I have to say it. I root for them, the Jets. Jets, Jets. Hold on. Okay, so 9:30 in the morning, so it's watch some NFL football tomorrow morning with Falcons against the Jets, okay? Let's go over here. Okay, Brian Harmon's back, but he missed the cut at the Shriners Children's Open in Las Vegas. He was shot 4 under, and he missed the cut, all right? Gene Sowers, okay, he's at the Constellation Furyk and Friends Open. He's tied for 35th. He shot even par in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, Rock and Roll Marathon still on. They haven't made a decision, okay? One of the biggest events here in Savannah, Georgia. I mean, it brings in close to 15,000 people, all right? You got 7,000 runners. Sorry, brings in close to 22,000 people. Brings in 15,000 runners, 7,000 people that come with these people. It's a big deal. Mayor Van Johnson said early in the week he's considering it. Depends on the COVID-19 numbers. All right. That's inning number 1 in the book. Local news, local sports. Remember, it's The Coach. Breakfast at Coach every Saturday morning. Here you go. A all-meat omelet. Little roll with some butter, some hash browns. I'm ready to go. Got to thank John Henderson for bringing it up here because, there's no lift this year. So he's got to walk up 2 flights of steps, and it's kind of treacherous, a little tedious, a little when he's been doing it 20,000 times during the day, gets a little tired, but that's what we're doing here. So once again, breakfast today from 8 to 11 right here at Coach's Corner. Next up, we're going to talk Georgia football, the oldest rivalry in the South, 126th edition with the Columnist, Stephen Elmo Weeks, and he's going to pick 5 games, and he's going to give you his predictions. All right, we'll be right back after this. Got to thank my sponsors. You're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, always at Coach's Corner every Saturday morning from 9 to about 10:30.
All time, that's Coach's Corner and Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder why. Sports, live music, delicious and generous portions of pub food, all for our fans. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. It's always game time at Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick a TV, and Coach's Corner is your place. Coach's Corner is always open for lunch, dinner, and now breakfast, Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 10:30. But remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. John Harrison and Coach's Corner crew has smoked Boston butts, ribs, and chicken on the grill. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's 912-352-2933. As always, make it a night to remember at Coach's Corner.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, it comes in uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From cutting and equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
You still want some real New York deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia during this social distancing problem. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone, kabish. If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered, go to savtakeout.com, savtakeout.com to place the order. Remember, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering, we ain't New York style, we are
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time, it makes you mad, the pain drives you crazy, you just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can, at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive, and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
How you doing, people? How you doing, sports fans? It's the coach, Karl DeMasi, with the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. Breakfast at Coach's with the coach every Saturday morning. I'm up at Coach's Corner, TEEPEE Pavilion. It's about 800 square feet. We got a big screen TV going. We got the Tomahawk Chop going. Hey, come on out. Hey, you want to donate to a good cause? John Henderson does this every year. We got to help one of our own. That's the name of the foundation. Been in Savannah for over 30 years. Last year, John raised over $30,000. While, of course, Coach's Corner raised over $30,000 donated to that cause. Come on up. He got his hair cut last night. He's got his tomahawk. You want to cut the coach's hair? $500. $500. Donate. Come on down. Donate it to the foundation. Help one of our own. The organization helps people who are, taken down, drastically sick. Something drastically happened in the family. It's a great cause. Come on and do it. And John brought up a little toy up here. Okay, a bobblehead Ronald Acuna doll. Bobblehead doll. If you want this doll, it's going to cost you a lot of money. You got to talk to John about that. But once again, there's his head bobbing. We're on the Coach's Corner TEEPEE Pavilion. I'm going live, and this is always the second part of the show. We talk Georgia football, and we pick 5 games, and we go by the spread with picking in the winners with the coach and, of course, the columnist, Stephen Elmo Weeks. All right, got family things going today, so we pre-recorded it. So here it is, Georgia football. Georgia, Auburn, and picking the winners with the columnist, Stephen Elmo Weeks.
2 segments of today's show is pre-recorded because I got 2 busy guys. That's right. They're running all over the place. One guy's got to take a kid to golf, soccer, you name it, he's doing it. The other guy has to go to Auburn with his wife to watch Auburn take on Georgia because she is a big Auburn fan. That's, of course, Jon Nelson. So we'll be talking to him. We'll see that recording later on. But this is a lot of fun. Every Saturday morning, the second quarter, we start off with picking the winners with the columnist, Stephen Elmo Weeks. 9-16. Last 2 weeks been tough on him. But you know what? It's a lot of fun. He doesn't just pick a team. He picks against the spread, so that even makes it tougher. Joining us now on the Coach's Corner hot seat is himself, picking the winners, the columnist, Stephen Elmo Weeks. Well, buddy, it's football season. We're having a lot of fun. Last 2 weeks, your picks are getting tougher.
Yeah, maybe what we should say is pick against my picks, and you'll do good. I've gotten killed the last couple of weeks, man. I don't know. College football is having a crazy year, man. It's a lot of upsets. The most AP top 25 teams in the history of college football have lost in the first 5 weeks of the season. It's the most losses ever in the history of the AP poll for top 25 teams in the first 5 weeks. So obviously that makes it pretty hard to pick the right sides. But man, last week was particularly bad. I don't know what I was doing with with UCLA. I know Chip Kelly can't coach, man. I know that. I know better, right?
Well, you know what happens, and you finally picked against you went with Notre Dame, and what did they do? They let you down.
No matter what I do with Notre Dame, I get the short end of the stick, man. I mean, first of all, hats off to Cincinnati and the Bearcats and Luke Fickell. What a tremendous win for their program, and they were the better team. There's no question about it. Feel like Notre Dame had a lot of chances to win that football game, but drop passes and bad and penalties and just sloppy. I think I don't know. I think Notre Dame might be in for a couple more losses before the end of the season. That did not look like a very good football team.
What's ironic is that Brian Kelly's the person that built that Cincinnati program back up to prominence.
Oh yeah.
And now
I thought it was really classy, Carl. At the end, when Luke Fickell was interviewed, one of the first things he said was his credit to Coach Kelly for what he did here to pave the way for what I'm doing. That's pretty classy right there. I think that's a class move, and I think Luke Fickell's headed out to Los Angeles. I think he's going to be the next coach of the Southern California program, but we'll see, right?
We got that right. All right, like we do every week, before we do pick the winners, we start off with breaking down your favorite team, the Georgia Bulldogs. Yep. Now, Stephen, that game last week, you said right on the show that if Georgia runs the ball, they're going to be a tough team to beat, and they did. That's the first game this year that has made me a believer in the Georgia team as a whole. Defense has been killing it all year, waiting for that running game. JT Daniels, he's just an injury waiting to happen. Stetson Bennett, we got to deal with the local kid from Pierce County, the mailman, just being the game manager, which he is, but he can throw the ball and he can run. So, you called it, and that running game was lights out last week.
Yeah, I think couple things. Georgia caught Arkansas in a good spot. They had just played a very, very difficult physical game with Texas A&M. And I think Georgia had a game plan to take advantage of that. I think that was the offense that I have been expecting to see throughout the year for the Bulldogs, and I think that's what they're going to have to do unless JT Daniels can get healthy. So again, tomorrow, Auburn has a really, really, really good defense, and they're going to make it hard to run the ball. I still think, though, if you win 10-6, it's still a win. So I think Georgia probably, again, has to be committed to the run, even if it's hard, even if it doesn't work in the beginning. Don't put the game in Stetson Bennett's hands on the road in Jordan-Hare. That would be a mistake. Bo Nix, is energized after beating LSU, but again, you catch Auburn, I think in a good spot. They played a really tough physical game last week. LSU, whether they're good or bad, they're big and they're tough and they're good athletes. And they stress you physically. So I think Auburn's probably a little worn down. Georgia barely broke a sweat against Arkansas, so they had a nice that was like a scrimmage. So I think you do catch Auburn at a good time, but
right across.
I think you got to run the ball, take care of the ball, don't fumble, don't let Stetson throw a pick six.
Yeah, I know where it is.
Don't do those things. Take care of the football, control the clock, get out of there with a 13 to 9 win. It doesn't matter how much you win by. You just got to get out of this game with a win and get back to a point where JT Daniels can play.
The 126th game of the Deep South's oldest rivalry. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
Georgia's oldest rivalry, and to be fair, Georgia has really dominated this rivalry in the past decade. We owned Gus. I think Gus was like 2-7 against Georgia. That doesn't really mean a whole lot, though, to be honest with you. I think Auburn's pretty good football team this year. Brian Harsin came in and he put together a great staff. Mike Bobo's on that staff. Mike Bobo knows Georgia inside and out. So I saw somewhere out there that Georgia's favored by 15 or 16 points. That's insane. That to me, that's crazy given the fact that Stetson Bennett is a junior varsity quarterback. I don't think that's a very realistic thing. I think it's probably like a 17-13, 17-10 kind of thing. And anytime you leave Jordan-Hare with a W, it's been a good day, and it doesn't matter whether it's by 1 or 3 or whatever. I think Kirby's going to have to stay patient. He's going to have to deal with the crowd. He's going to have to deal with Stetson's limitations. If Georgia goes into Jordan Hare and Stetson Bennett throws, let's say, I think if Stetson Bennett throws more than 20 passes, this season might take a turn in the wrong direction.
Well, we're going to see what happens. And once again, the Bulldogs are 15.5-point favorites going into this game. So
crazy. Right. I never know I'm not ever very good at picking Georgia. That is crazy to me. Auburn's not a bad team. I mean, I've watched them twice. Watched them against Penn State. Watched them last week against LSU. They're big up front. They've got one of the best running backs in the SEC in Tank. I can't remember that boy's last name. Tank Bigsby. He can run. I mean, he's a really tough guy. And Nix is unconventional, but he makes plays, man. And especially at home. That guy's – I think he's only lost twice at home in 3 years. I don't know. That's crazy that if anybody goes to a window in Vegas and lays Georgia minus 15.5, they should – somebody should come and put a white coat on them. That's crazy.
I agree with you. And, we got a big little Savannah touch there with Demetrius Robinson leaving Georgia, now at Auburn, and he's their number one receiver. So that's going to be another interesting part of the game.
He had a couple big catches last week. He had a really big first down catch for them in the second half last week. I'm glad to see Demetrius having some success. He never really got much traction at Georgia.
I was born in Brooklyn and then moved out to Long Island.
I'm glad to see him having success. Obviously, a kid from Savannah Christian who has all the speed in the world, and glad to see Auburn is finding a way to get him some touches.
All right, here we go. Picking the winners. 5 games the Columnist wants to break down. We'll kick it off with the man that takes a lot of abuse at Michigan, Jim Harbaugh. Okay, he's taking on Nebraska. Michigan comes in 5-0, 2-0 in the Big Ten. The Cornhuskers 3-3, 1-2. So let's give you here and I got the spread being 3 right now for Michigan giving 3 to Nebraska.
Yeah, I saw it at 3.5, but either 3 or 3.5. So this is like really doesn't make any sense. Michigan is probably better. Nebraska has found a way to lose so many different ways and so many different things. But at some point, Nebraska's going to win a game. They should have beaten Oklahoma. There's no question they should have beaten Oklahoma. They should have beaten Michigan State. They let a punt return come back against Michigan State where they had nobody on one side of the field. I don't know how you do that on punt coverage. This to me seems like the perfect spot to be the week that Nebraska finally gets a win that makes a difference. Michigan has a giant win over Wisconsin, but I don't think Wisconsin's very good. All Wisconsin has done this year is lose. So I'm going to say Nebraska at home in Lincoln, all those crazy people, chowing down on corn before the game. And I think this is the day that Scott Frost gets it done. And Nebraska at least stays close and maybe even wins the game over Michigan. So give me Scott Frost and Nebraska plus 3.5 against Michigan.
Michigan, this might be a big trap game for them. A big win last weekend. They're on the road this week. They got a bye week next week. Could be a trap game. Okay, so Nebraska getting 3.5. Okay, that's who the Collins picks. Next game up, Oklahoma against Texas in the Red River Showdown.
The Red River rivalry. They play it at the Texas Fairgrounds. It's obviously a huge national story every year. This year's the first time they've both been ranked in a while. Having watched both of them, I think Texas is actually the better team. Ever since they changed quarterbacks, they went away from their original starting quarterback. They brought in another freshman. Texas has been putting up huge numbers. They hung 70 on Texas Tech 2 weeks ago. They survived a scare last week. I don't know. Oklahoma just seems to be playing with fire. They play one-score games every single week. That has to catch up with you at some point. Bijan Robinson might be he's going to get invited to New York for the Heisman ceremony. I don't know if he'll win the Heisman. He's one of the leading rushers in the country. And I think if Texas, again, this kind of goes back to what we talked about Georgia, just commit to running the ball. Keep Oklahoma off the field, frustrate them, own the time of possession, long drives, win 24-20, 21-14. Don't get in a thing where you're going up and down the field. That's how Texas almost lost last week, by the way. Texas should have won that game by 2 scores, but they just couldn't stop throwing the ball. You got Bijan Robinson running for 225 yards, and you're still throwing. Why?
Yeah.
Just hand the ball to the kid. Let him go. I think if Texas will just commit to the run, maybe get a couple turnovers off Spencer Rattler in Oklahoma, I think Texas can actually win the game. So we'll go Texas plus 3.5 in the Red River rivalry. That's really hard to say.
Red River rivalry. I just got to jump on this quick. But you know what? The problem is Steve Sarkisian is not a running coach. He's not a running offense coordinator. He wants to chuck the ball. And like you said, being a coach when you're up, the best thing that you can do is run the ball. And the Robinson kid is pretty special. He's only a sophomore. So, yeah, I agree with you on that one.
So this is what we'll find out. We'll find out, is Steve Sarkisian ready to be a winning head football coach, or is he still trying to impress people with statistics? Because this game, it's always close. They always play one-score games, right? No matter what the records of the teams are, they play close games. And to win, you just have to commit to what wins. Just go run the ball. If you get up, run the ball, eat the clock, punt, play, play field position football. If you can do it, I think you got a chance to win.
All right, game number 3 now. We got the head coach at Penn State looking out to California a little. You just talked about the USC job. Mr. Franklin, he comes in to take on an Iowa team. They both have identical records, 5-0, 2-0 in the Big Ten. I mean, from what I've read over the last half an hour when you gave me your picks, nobody expected this game to be a big one.
No, I think Iowa is so sneaky good. Nobody really – I mean, it's not really fun to watch Iowa, quite honestly. No. They're not fun to watch. They run the ball. They play great defense. They play really, really, really good pass defense. It's very hard to throw the ball against Iowa. I've been on Iowa all year. I really felt like I watched their first game, and I thought, man, those guys are really, really good. Why is nobody talking about Iowa? Well, they're talking about them now. And they went into Maryland last week, and again, everybody said, Tua's brother is going to do this. Tua's brother threw 5 picks, right? So I think Iowa has a chance to again play an ugly football game at home in front of a very loud crowd. They play really well at Kinnick Stadium up in Iowa City. I think Iowa. I'm going to take Iowa minus 1.5 over Penn State. No disrespect to Penn State, they're good. They're a good team. They shut out Indiana 24-0. This could be another one of those games that's 13-10, 14-10, something like that. Not a lot of points scored. Iowa has a great kicker. Iowa knows how to play field position football. That's what they do. And I feel like Iowa in this instance is just the better team. I think Iowa is a sneaky good college football playoff contender team because of the way they play, how committed they are to what they do. They do what they do better than other people do what they do, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to take Iowa minus the 1.5 over Penn State.
We were all impressed with Mr. Franklin at Vanderbilt. He jumps to Penn State, but he can't win the big game at Penn State. So right. I agree with you 100%. This is a big game on the road for the Nittany Lions. I don't think they could do it either. I would go with Iowa too at getting a 1.5. Yep. Okay. I don't know why you picked this one. You got to tell me about this one. You got the Hilltoppers.
Yep.
Western Kentucky against the University of Texas at San Antonio, right?
Okay, here's where we go deep dive into college football. The Hilltoppers quietly have a kid named Bailey Zapp at quarterback, and all Bailey Zapp does is throw touchdowns, lots and lots of touchdowns. He threw 10. He leads, or I don't know if he leads the country right now, but he's close to leading the country in touchdown passes. The Hilltoppers have played one of the hardest schedules of anybody in the country, and they have almost beaten 3 Power 5 teams. They played a close game with Michigan State, right? Michigan State's 5-0. They're ranked the top 10 in the country. They played a close game at home against Indiana. Couldn't quite pull it off. Western Kentucky, their record is 1-3, but they're really good. They're really, really good at football. They played a close game with Army, right? Army's really good. They're at home. Texas San Antonio is kind of a surprise. They're undefeated this season, but they have played absolutely nobody. So I think this is a week where Bailey Zapp and the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers get right, and they take out some frustration on a team of their own size. They played against all the big boys. Now they're coming home, and I think Western Kentucky -3.5 is the pick over Texas San Antonio.
Hey, just the nicknames alone. You got the Hilltoppers taking on the Roadrunners. What do you want?
Hilltoppers. That's right. I'm telling you, this Bailey Zapp guy, some NFL team, if they're paying attention, is going to get a heck of a quarterback. I watched him play against Army, and I watched him again against Indiana. This young man can absolutely flat out sling it. He transferred over from Houston Baptist University, and he threw last year for Houston Baptist. I think he threw 10 touchdowns in one game. And he's doing the same thing at Western Kentucky, just slinging it all over the field. And I don't know. I think Texas San Antonio is a great story, but they haven't seen anything like Bailey Zapp, and they haven't seen anything like the speed that Western Kentucky has on the outside. And I think Bailey just slings it up and down the field all night.
All right, last one on the slate. We're going Wyoming at Air Force. Wyoming has the ugliest colors in the nation. My college had the ugliest colors, the same, brown and yellow.
Another situation where Wyoming's undefeated, right?
Yep.
One of the last remaining undefeated teams, and yet they're not. Yet they're getting 6 points from Air Force. I love picking the service academies. I love the way they play football. I think Wyoming has played, other than maybe Texas San Antonio, Wyoming's played the worst schedule in the country. And they played close games. They played a very close game. They really should have lost to UConn. And if you almost lose to UConn, you're going to lose to Air Force.
You're pretty bad.
You're pretty bad. So I'm going to take Air Force at home doing what they do. They hardly ever throw the ball, right? I think they average 7 passes per game.
They hang out with Georgia Southern.
That's right. They don't throw it. Them and Army and Navy, they don't throw it. I think Air Force will get all over Wyoming, quite honestly. So I'm taking Air Force -6 against the Wyoming Cowboys.
So we got Nebraska getting 3.5. We got Michigan. At Michigan. We got Texas getting 3.5 versus Oklahoma. Iowa giving up 1.5 to Penn State. The Hilltoppers, Western Kentucky, giving up 3.5 to UTSA, the University of Texas San Antonio, the Roadrunners, and Air Force giving up 6 versus Wyoming. Well, hopefully we'll get back on the winning track there. And
At some point, Carl, we got to get this thing. The law of averages says we got to get this thing turned around, right? So 9-16 against the spread. That's not very good. You're probably, your wife's not very happy with you. You're 9-16 against the spread. Okay, so let's see if we can get 4 or 5 wins this week. Get back into get closer to 500. Then next week we'll go over 500. Start winning. Start having a winning record.
Once again. Second quarter of the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, always kicking off with breakfast at coaches, but kicking it off with the pick. Pick the winners by the columnist Stephen Elmo Weeks. Steve, had a great time. I know you're very busy this weekend, but I know you'll be finding a TV at 3:30 to watch.
Definitely. That's a big one tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to it. Go Dogs.
And once again, that's Pick the Winners with Stephen Elmo Weeks every Saturday morning, roughly about 9:15, and that one went a little longer. I got to apologize to my next guest. He's sitting patiently back in the waiting room. And that's, of course, the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week, Samari, Dowdy from New Hampstead High School. But Stephen Elmo Weeks breaks down Georgia football, picks 5 games. It's a lot of fun. I know he's 9-16, but he does a great job. We'll be back in 3 minutes. I promise you, Samari, in 3 minutes, breakfast with the coach, the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, right here at Coach's Corner on the TEEPEE Pavilion, which you see right behind me. They're starting to move around up here. They finally woke up. They crawled out of the teepee after my good friend Lawrence Bennett, the producer of Rubbin' and Grubbin', was sleeping under the mattress. But we'll talk to him about that later on. We'll be back in 3 minutes with the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week, Samari Dowdy from New Hampstead High School.
All time, that's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder why. Sports, live music, delicious and generous portions of pub food, all for our fans. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. It's always game time at Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick a TV, and Coach's Corner is your place. Coach's Corner is always open for lunch, dinner, and now breakfast, Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 10:30. But remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. John Harrison and Coach's Corner crew has smoked Boston butts, ribs, and chicken on the grill. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's 912-352-2933. As always, make it a night to remember at Coach's Corner.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Phil Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From Come Get Equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a
Yo,
winner.
you still want some real New York deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia during this social distancing problem. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone, capiche? If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered, go to savtakeout.com, savtakeout.com to place the order. Remember, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering, we ain't New York style, we are New York.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time, it makes you mad, the pain drives you crazy, you just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can, at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive, and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here at the Coach's Corner TEEPEE Pavilion for the Braves playoffs. Remember, John Henderson and the crew are raising money for the charity Help One of Our Own. They've been doing it for 30 years, $30,000 last year. Come on down. It's breakfast with the coach. I don't know why I got that little thing in front of me. I got to try to get rid of it. But anyway, here's my all-meat omelet. I had to eat half of it already. My home fries and my roll. Remember, every Saturday morning from 8 to 11 right here at Coach's Corner, you can have breakfast Tuesday through Friday from 7 to 10:30. All right, give me a chance right here to get rid of what's going on here. I don't know why this thing is showing up. All right, here we go. It's an overlay. I know that. And let me scroll down a little more. All right, let's go to comments. I don't know why it's showing comments, and I don't know how to get rid of it. But anyway, my next guest had a phenomenal game about a week and a half ago. Oh, it's a week ago. 8 days ago against Windsor Forest. Great game, big ball game, 45-38. The Phoenix win. This is the first running back in Savannah, Georgia, to gain over 300 yards since 2014. Okay, I got to thank Dennis Knight. 2014, Robert Hayward at Calvary Day School ran for 328 yards. This young man ran for 329 yards against Windsor Forest in that victory. Okay, New Hampshire carried a 14-point lead into halftime, and he was just all over the place. Coach Hockman said the last 5 minutes was fun to watch because this young man just took control of the game. And this is what Coach Hockman had to say about his running back. He can accelerate through holes unlike any back I ever coached. Very strong in the weight room, still learning how to transfer that onto the football field. Has a big heart, maturing as a person before our eyes. And he's going to do a lot of great things. And that's, of course, this week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week from New Hampstead High School, running back Samari Dowdy. Okay, here we go. I'm going to add Samari here. Let's go with this look. Hopefully we can get rid of I can't get rid of Chad Griffin's comment there, Samari. I just flipped you the other way. Let's flip you back. It's it's live radio, live internet. You gotta love it. But once again, congratulations on that game a week ago, 8 days ago. Congratulations last night, big win. Last night for you guys, just having a great season.
Thank you.
So tell us about it. I mean, what grade you in? When did you start playing football? What's so special about football to Samari Dowdy?
I'm in 11th grade. Actually, I'm a junior. I started playing football when I was 4. I started playing football when I was 4 years old, and I love the game of football because like it shows me, it shows me how to be a man.
So football shows you how to be a man. So what have you learned from it? I mean, dedication, organization. What have you learned from the game of football that makes you a man?
You know, I learned how to be working with Coach Harbaugh. It shows me how to be organized. It shows me how to build as a person now. I'm maturing more since I started basketball alone.
He said in his little quote that you're maturing right in front of us. So when did you start playing football? When did you pick up the pigskin and start running with it?
When I used to stay in Miami, so I used to play for this team, and then I used to thought I was a basketball player for English football, but I started getting better and better at football. So I just took the football and just said I just do football and turf.
All right. So once again, you ran for over 300 yards a week ago Friday. Unbelievable. So if I had to talk to Coach Haas Cockman, what would he tell me your best skill is as a football player? Is it running the ball, running over people, seeing the field? What do you think is your best skill when it comes to the game of football?
Seeing the field.
Finding the open slots, finding the lanes. I mean, you had an unbelievable night, like I said. But what is your fondest memory about playing football?
When I was in 9th grade, actually, I was running the ball and I had twisted my wrist. I was so melodramatic, I thought I broke it. And that was a memory I'll never forget.
All right. And, you're a football player. Athletes have routines. What team do you use to make yourself a better football player or a better athlete?
I eat 6 times a day so I can get bigger. And I work out at this place called the Factory with Robert DeLoach and Coach Carter every day on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday something.
And what's the routine there? How hard does Coach DeLoach work you?
I sweat every day. I get tired every day.
He doesn't give you a chance to rest that man, does he?
No, sir.
No, sir. And if you're just tuning in or watching or listening, it's the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, Breakfast with the Coach, every Saturday morning here at Coach's Corner. They serve breakfast now from 8 to 11 on Saturdays, Tuesday through Friday from 7 to 10:30. Come on in and join it. And I'm up at the TEEPEE Pavilion. As you see, the producer, Lawrence Bennett, going back into his home from last night, the TEEPEE. John Henderson does this to raise money for help one of our own, a local charity that's been here for 30 years to help this family that needs money and needs support. So come on down and get involved in it. We'll talk about that in a little while. All right. So you just said that you thought you were a basketball player. Do you play other sports than football, or you just concentrate on football now?
Oh, no, sir. I run track. Actually, I'm top 6 in the state for track right now.
Wow. What event do you run?
The 100.
Which one?
The 100.
100. How fast are you running 100?
I run the 10.66.
Wow. That's pretty quick, Samari. Pretty quick. So now, are you looking to play football in college? You're looking to run track in college? What are you looking forward to doing in the future?
Really, I want to play football in college because football is where my heart really at right now.
Have you received any recognition and any calls from college coaches? Anything yet?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Okay. So coming into this season, I know you've been banged up from what Coach tells me. You had an unbelievable game. Did you have a personal goal coming into this season for Samari?
My goal is to be better every day. I want to be better every day. I don't want to stay how I am. I want to stay the same person. I want to get better every day.
Well, that's a great goal to have every day to improve yourself, make yourself better each day. Now, do you have any role models? Do you look up to anybody? Anybody at New Hampstead High School that might have graduated that you looked up to? Who are your role models?
I really look up to Sam Brown. We used to go to New Hampstead. He when I first came to New Hampstead, he showed me a good route to go.
Sam Brown now playing at West Virginia, one of the best athletes to come out of Savannah, Georgia. I'm telling you, you couldn't have a better role model than that. So, with what you're doing, time management, going to practice back and forth, going to places, you're a track athlete. How's your family supported? Who do you want to thank in your family for the support they've given you so far?
I would like to thank my mom, my uncle Devin, and my father, and my brothers. They pushed me a lot to play football. They pushed me a lot to stay out of trouble and all. So it really wasn't for them. I don't know what I would do. I don't even think I would be playing football right now.
All right. You have an older brother that played at New Hampstead that just graduated?
No, sir.
Okay. So you the oldest?
No, I'm not the oldest, but I'm the second oldest.
Second oldest. Okay. The name Dowdy sounds familiar. Anybody else play sports in Savannah with that name?
No, sir. I'm really from Miami. I'm from Savannah.
So you're from Miami. How long you been in Savannah?
Since I turned 6.
Turned 6, so about 10 years. So pretty impressive. Okay. So behind every great football team, behind every great football player, there's a coach. Coach Hockman has been there for now 3 years. He's changing that program around. Tell us about Coach Hockman, and if you want to tell us about the other coaches too, what they've meant to you.
Coach Hockman, Coach Hockman really is a good coach. He pushes his players to be better than they is right now. He show their players the route to go and not the good and not the route to go and not the bad route to go. Yeah, and one of the coaches that pushes me a lot too, his name is Coach Jay. He pushes me a lot because he picked me up sometimes when I was down and was like, "Hey, you got this, you got this, you got this." And he picked me up, and they all them coaches actually they helped me out because sometimes I needed a smile, and they came to help me smile and gave and help my day out.
Nice. We're talking to Samari Dowdy from Windsor Forest. From New Hampstead High School, who went against Windsor Forest, ran for 327 yards. I mean, had a phenomenal game, 2 touchdowns a week ago. Running back junior from New Hampstead High School. So you've been at New Hampstead High School now for almost 2.5 years. What's special about it? What's your fondest memory about being at New Hampstead High School outside the athletics?
My first year there, well, when I first came to New Hampstead High School, I thought high school was gonna be like high school musical.
I missed that part. Say it again.
When I first went to New Hampstead, I thought New Hampstead was gonna be like High School Musical, the movie.
A lot different, eh?
Yes, sir.
How are the teachers? They there to help you out?
Oh yes, sir. The teachers, all the teachers over there, they listen, do good. You're gonna be great. You're gonna be great one day.
Nice. All right, let's go back to Friday night. Last Friday night, not last night. You ran for over 300 yards against Windsor Forest. What was your reaction when you found out that it was for 327 yards and 2 touchdowns? And now we know it hasn't been done since 2014 here in Savannah.
I ran to my mom. My mom was knocked out asleep in her room. I ran to her, screaming and telling her what's going on. But she was so excited because she was asleep, and I woke her out of her sleep. And I was like, I couldn't sleep all night. I was just so proud of myself.
Now, you had to be in the zone. Did you know during the game that this was your night?
No, sir. I really I thought I have to do the win.
Nice. All right, let's wrap this up. So we're looking at you want to go play college. You want to go to the next level. After high school, college football, or wherever you may be, football's over. What do you want to do in the future?
I really want to play NFL. If I could go to further in the NFL. But if I can't do that, I'll try to be a teacher or something like that.
Nice. Give back to the kids that, you, like your coaches are giving back to you. Great job. Well, Samari, I mean, you had an unbelievable game. And last night, Coach said you were a little beat up, a little sore. What'd you do last night?
Last night, I had a touchdown. And I think I ran for 100 yards because we had to do 4 passes, but we was going to run it.
Nice. Over 100 yards. What's it like playing with Paulie Sealy?
Paulie's a good quarterback. I love the way he wrote his routine. I love the way he moves. I love the way he throws the ball and all.
Well, hopefully there's going to be many more for you. You still got another, 4 games left in the season. You're going to get into region play, and then you got your senior year. Keep up the great work. Work hard, Coach DeLoach. The man knows what he's doing. Stick with him, and of course, Coach Hockman. You know he's going to be there for you. Once again, that's why you're this week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete Week. Great job and good luck, and I'll see you when you play Islands next week.
Yes, sir.
Good luck, Samari.
Good luck. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, you can tell he's a hard worker, and as Coach Hockman said, he's growing. And for Coach Hockman, who's been coaching for over 27 years, to say this is one of the special kids that he's coached is really, really impressive. So, Samari Dowdy, 327 yards a week ago against Windsor Forest in a big Phoenix win. I think it was 45-38, back and forth fight. So, you got to give the young man a lot of credit. Last night, over 100 yards, a touchdown. So, pretty special. I tried searching for his stats from last night. I couldn't find it. So, but next up, we're going to talk high school football with the new voice of high school football, or I call him the guru of high school football from Georgia Public Broadcasting Sports Division. The man does it all. He writes books. Go check it out. The new book out, Noble Strong, about his good friend, Buddy Noble, who passed away from Irwin County High School. I got the digital copy. It's really good. Check it out. But he's going to be up next, and it's going to be pre-recorded because he's in the Plains. His wife is a big, as he calls her, the boss, is a big Auburn fan. She probably went to Auburn, okay? So they're at the Plains in Alabama, but it's pre-recorded. But let's hear what he has to say about the first season, the second season, and looking into the third season. The man, and he's going to talk about Georgia high school state of classifications. That's going on too. The man, Jon Nelson from Georgia Public Broadcasting. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Got to thank my sponsors. Once again, appreciate you for listening. Send me a comment, and hopefully it'll pop up like Chad. Hold it. I'm up here. I got to control the truck horn when they beep. That's me doing it. So come by, beep that horn. I'll give you a truck horn beep. We'll go from there. Be back in 3 minutes. You're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, Breakfast with the Coach, right here on the TEEPEE Pavilion, and it's going to be up here until the Braves are out of the playoffs. I'll be right back. Talking too much. Got to thank the people who
all time, that's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder why. Sports, live music, delicious and generous portions of pub food, all for our fans. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. It's always game time at Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick a TV, and Coach's Corner is your place. Coach's Corner is always open for lunch, dinner, and now breakfast, Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 10:30. But remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. John Harrison and Coach's Corner crew has smoked Boston butts, ribs, and chicken on the grill. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's 912-352-2933. As always, make it a night to remember at Coach's Corner.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
You still want some real New York deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia during this social distancing problem. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone. Kabish. If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered, go to savtakeout.com, savtakeout.com to place the order. Remember, Rocky's Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering. We ain't New York style. We are
Wetherington
New York.
Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room, if you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And what's up, sports fans? Welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. Breakfast with the coach every Saturday morning, right here at Coach's Corner. I'm on the Coach's Corner TEEPEE Pavilion. That's right. The Braves are in the playoffs. The TEEPEE's up behind me. 800 square foot deck up here. Come on up. Go to the bartender, okay, and the adult server, okay. Donate, and you can come up here and hang out with the guys all day long. We got Braves on at 5:07. We got Georgia Bulldog football at 3:30. Just donate, because all the money that's donated goes to help one of our own, a charity that's been here in Savannah for 30 years, not 300 years, for 30 years. And, they help families in need of medical costs, anything that can help them out when they're going through times of trouble. You want to get involved? I got a Ronald Acuna bobblehead doll. You want to make a big donation? John Henderson will get rid of it. Okay, I know he didn't play this year, Ronald Acuna. Okay. And once again, come down here and make a donation, and you make the right donation. John might sell that to you. You want to make a $500 donation? That's right. I did it last year. $500. Hold it. Got to thank the cars coming by. Beep your horn, and you're going to get Coach hitting the truck horn. All right. So it's a lot of fun up here. But you want to donate $500 to the help one of our own cause here at Coach's Corner? I'll have my head shaved just for you, just like I did last year. Somebody put the money up last year. I had it done. So I don't know if anybody's going to put it up this year, but we'll see what happens. Just got to go back and check everything that it's working. I'm also the producer, technical director. And I know it might be kind of rainy on your Facebook page, YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, Twitter. I'm up here. The sky's getting a little cloudy, so I see the picture on my other laptop is not too great, but on this laptop it's great. So hopefully you guys have seen a good picture. But anyway, it's high school football. I had this young man on back in July, and we talked about 3 parts of a football season. You have the first part, which is the non-region season. You're getting into your region play. Then, of course, the second part of the season is your region play. And the third part of the season is when you make the playoffs, the icing on the cake. Well, this guy, I'm telling you right now, there he is. The man, John Henderson. This guy has been in Georgia his whole life. He's been covering sports for over 25 years. I don't know how he wound up going to Florida State, but coming back here. Went to Lakeside High School in Augusta, and he does a great job with Georgia Public Broadcasting System. And we talked about, of course, what's happening now in the second part of the season. The region play. There's a lot of teams coming in, and they're in region play. And I'm loading up the video as we talk right now. And then we talked about...
Once again, I love having my guest on here every Saturday morning live.
Whoops. Sorry. Then we talked about reclassification. If you haven't been following, Georgia High School has put in a 3.0 multiplier. That means every student that lives outside that school's area, it's going to be counted as 3 times. For example, like I told you, Jenkins High School was in 4A. They're moving up to 5A. They're the only public school here that'll move up to 5A. BC will stay in 4A. The private schools, Country Day, Christian, and Calvary, they will stay in Class A private. So it's pretty interesting. So we'll see what he has to say. Joining me now on the Coach's Corner hot seat, pre-recorded yesterday because he's on his way to Auburn to watch the South's oldest rivalry with his wife, Jon Nelson. But this guy's always busy, whether he's chasing soccer balls, footballs, you name it. He's all over the place. Going to Alabama. No, not Alabama. I'm sorry. He's going somewhere else with the wife. I don't want to get in trouble, but it's always a pleasure to have this man on my show, and he's always on the coach's hot seat. The man himself. I know I'm in trouble because I said Alabama. Jon Nelson. What's up, Jon?
Whoa. 1,000 times whoa. You mentioned that other A word in my house, and them's fighting words. It's, they're not even, okay, so let me pull the curtain back a little bit.
Okay.
The way that it works when it comes to this time of year, we have a calendar that we have the magnets, put the fridge magnets on the calendars on the side of the refrigerator in the kitchen. And the boss and I, in different colored ink, let the other person know where we're going to be. When it comes to that particular school that you mentioned and that game that's happening in November, she doesn't even identify them by name on the calendar. She goes by 3 initials, UAT. She doesn't even refer to them by name or the first 2 initials. It is UAT. That's how, University of Alabama, Birmingham, we know UAB. She gives them the designation of UAT. That's what that level of dislike is. But with her school on the plains and that other school that is outside of the western part of Birmingham, sir.
I do apologize. I'm getting excited about the football season, and it so happens that UGA is playing AUBURN. So so it's got to be a big day in that household. I know you're from Florida State University. That's where you went to school, but I mean, you are, and I know this brings us back to our beloved days with Tommy Palmer. You are the voice of high school football now. You know that. You're the person we come to. You're the person that has all the knowledge. That cranial vault of yours is loaded with high school football.
Well, but as I will continue to say, Tommy has forgotten more than I will ever remember, and he is a trusted and valued and loved friend. But yeah, as we're talking, through the beauty of tape, the boss and I are actually traveling to said game that you were referring to. So yeah, we are in transit. So I will be in 2 places at once. I'll be here with you at the same time that the boss and I are heading to this particular game. She's not all that optimistic, to be perfectly honest with you, but she does anticipate that when there will be a score from the Auburn offense, it will be from one of the wackiest layouts that you will have seen, where we've seen Bo Nix channel Fran Tarkenton, and that's your Google search for today, kids. Channeling Fran Tarkenton to scramble and create something out of nothing. She thinks it's going to be one of those moments that could be a double doink off a helmet, a double deflection, like the miracle at Jordan Hare, those kinds of things to get points on the board. She's going into it with the mindset it's going to be a long day, so we'll see just how long it is.
Hey, I'll take that little doink off the head into a Georgia boy's hand from Savannah Christian, Demetrius Robinson. I mean, I'll take that doink.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing when I get those Saturday dates, and that's what we are. We kind of turn them into a full date day instead of just a date night. What I do and what I started doing when we started dating was when I would go to games with her, I would identify the players by their Georgia high school. I would sit there and say, well, yeah, Demetrius Robinson from Savannah Christian. And that's how I identify folks. John Samuel Schenker from Colquitt County. You look at Caleb Kim from Mill Creek in the past, and those players like that, Smoke Mundy from Carver, Atlanta, those kinds of things. That's my bailiwick for knowing all of these college kids and sitting there saying, Georgia high school. No, that kid covered that kid. That's my baseline. And it's funny when you look at the Auburn roster and notice that 1/3 of the group is from the state of Georgia. So for me, it's an easy reference point.
Nice. All right, let's talk high school football. Now, if you watched my interview with Jon Nelson a couple of months ago, we talked about 3 seasons. You had the part 1, you have part 2, and you have part 3. While we've gone through part 1, we're entering part 2 now. Part 1 is the non-region games, the pre-region games.
Now we're entering the region games. Part 1, okay? Anybody stand out for you? I mean, Benedictine with those big losses early, but they're coming on now. Anybody besides Benedictine stand out for you?
Oh, Calvary Day, no question. You look at what they did last week against Stratford Academy, and this is a continuation of what we saw from Calvary Day last year, making it into the semis, if memory serves. And when you are challenged by Stratford Academy, Stratford comes out, and they're going to play you in your barn, and it's 35-0 before anybody can blink. I think that just reinforces what we've seen from Calvary Day this year. You look at them, you look at Benedictine. Those are the two stories out of the Savannah area. New Hampstead, I think, is coming out of lane 8 to kind of look at folks and be something that they can look at. You look at what we're seeing down on the coast with how things are growing with Sean Pender down at Brunswick, winning the city championship and coming into this weekend, undefeated, winning your first 6. And, for me, I always think it's really cool. I mean, when you win the city championship, A, in overtime, B, when it's a sophomore kicker, when you have a 16-year-old in that kind of a moment, get that kind of a moment that's going to last a lifetime for him, that's kind of cool for me as well. You look at Region 1-5A, you look at what we're seeing out of Waycross, and you're seeing it with Coffee, and you're seeing it with Warner Robins. Honestly, I look at Region 1-5A, and it wouldn't surprise me if those 3 teams were a part of, at the very least, the Final 8, if not the Final 4, when it comes to 5A playoffs. And you look at Warner Robins specifically, and just the fact that it was a game they were up 21-7 against Camden. Then it's 21-all. Then when you turn around, I literally had to go after 3 separate sources that were reputable. That these are like guys I know in the business, and they're tweeting 77-34. And I'm like, no, that can't be right. They must have hit the 7 wrong or hit the wrong button or something. And it was 77-34. So think about it. 56-13 from the midway point of the second quarter when the game was tied at 21. You're seeing Warner Robins right now as one of the best teams regardless of classification.
Right.
And it is stunning what we're seeing from them offensively. And the fact that Vic Burley is a junior, and Marquise Westbrook, the head coach of Warner Robins, is going to have him for another year next year. It's stunning to me what we're seeing out of Warner Robins so far this year. Then you look at in Single A down in the region of Doom, that Region 2, you've got Irwin and Brooks, and they were a part of the discussion coming out of the blocks in the first game of region play. Irwin got the Duke there, but it wouldn't surprise me if, much like we saw with Irwin and Clinch in years past, that you had a rematch in the championship game between Irwin and Brooks, like we've seen before. So, there's a lot of stuff going on in and around the state, and specifically with what we're seeing in Savannah, down in the swamp, and working your way over from Region 2, and then in 1-5A. There's a lot of stuff going on right now.
All right, now we go to the second part of the season. We're going into region play. What's your favorite part about region play? Is it the rivalries, the teams that are Cinderellas that nobody thought they would even be in a region race? What's the most exciting part of part 2 for Jon Nelson?
Yes. I'll give you an example. Our game of the week on Friday was Roswell and Cherokee, and they're in the same region as Milton. And so they know that they're chasing after Milton when it comes to seeding. And so those 2 teams were chasing after basically the 2 and the 3. And what we know is that you win that one, you get the inside track on a 2, you're going to have home playoff games versus going on the road being a 3. And the example that was given to us by the Roswell head coach, Chris Pruitt, he said, okay, here's the difference last year, using last year's numbers. If I'm the 2 seed, I get North Cobb at home versus having to travel to North Gwinnett as a 7A example. And that kind of stuff is huge for you if you're looking to make a playoff run. So honestly, it's the impact of 2s and 3s. It's having to know the math. something that you know about, tiebreakers and all those kinds of things. When it comes to, okay, what's my tiebreaker in this region? Is it, common opponents, plus, minus, and all these kinds of things. And so this is the time of year for the final 5 or 6 weeks of the season where we need to know math. And you said there would be no math on this show, especially early in the morning. But this is where we all need to know what region tiebreakers are, especially when it comes to three-way dances, because I can guarantee you, and especially in the mountain region up in Northwest Georgia, you're going to have 5 for 4. You're going to have 6 for 4. You're going to have 3 for 1. You're going to have mini games. Mini games. You want to talk about high school football's version of Thunderdome. It's the mini game, and regions have that as a tiebreaker too. So it's about having to know what the tiebreakers are in each of these individual regions so we can sort out 2s, 3s, and 4s. That's the big stuff for me.
All right, we're taking a TV timeout here. I'm putting on my athletic director's hat. Yes, sir.
You had a softball game today.
Softball game is at Paulson.
Oh, okay, so nothing today.
Nothing today.
All right, then what it is, they cut all the breakers off. They're going to get fused. They had the cue back. I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay.
They'll bring the cue back.
All right. I'll be here tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
That's wearing the athletic director's hat. Got to make sure the softball's ready for next week's playoffs. So, but the second part of the season, when you get into region games, I mean, for me, it's just like you. It's everything, the rivalries, and we got that black and blue division with Calvary and Savannah Christian and Savannah Country Day. But region play is where it all matters. Everybody thinks that non-region. Yeah, you want to win, but it comes down to what's this last part of the season, because now everybody's jockeying for a playoff position. And and I know it. Some schools are lucky enough there's only 4 teams in their region, so they're all going to the states.
And that's lucky in the sense of, lucky in the sense that everybody makes the playoffs.
Right.
But I will posit Eagles Landing Christian as an idea here for you. They're in a region that only has 3 teams because Our Lady of Mercy dropped to play 7-man football. And when you're in a situation like this, when you're in what I call a mini region, where you might only have 2 or 3 or 4 region games, this is where you have to put on your athletic director hat again. And I talked to Danny Britt about this on the Football Fridays in Georgia podcast. Hannah and I have talked to Jabo Shaw about this up at Rabun County. You have to schedule all of these non-region games. And if you're a team like Fitzgerald, you're scheduling Pierce County as a non-region game. Yes, you want to challenge yourself. You want to challenge yourself against the best before you can get into that sprint that is your mini region. And so I think that you have to come at it from 2 different angles here.
True.
You have to schedule your 37 non-region games. You have to try to be as healthy as possible coming out of that extended non-region schedule, so you can be ready for a region that you anticipate you're going to win. And that's a tall order because of the health that you're having to navigate through your non-region, and know that you're in a sprint before you get into the playoffs.
No, it's true. That definitely is true. And if you just joined, this is pre-recorded because my man here is going to be hanging out in Alabama, the state of Alabama, at Auburn. I'm correcting myself. The boss's alma mater. She's got to go out there and root for her War Eagles. Don't ask me why they're the War Eagles. I always thought they were the Tigers.
Don't get into this because it's the Auburn Tigers. The one of the chants of positivity is War Eagle, and there are stories that are attached. They are the Auburn Tigers, but you say War Eagle because it's a part of the fabric.
Okay, we don't have enough time for that because you and I could talk about that for an hour. All right, last question. I said I'd keep you to 15 minutes. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Big meeting Monday. Georgia High School State Association said that teams now with students out of district will use the three times multiplier.
Right.
If that happens, the next 2 years are going to be crazy. Who's going to 7A? Who's going to be left out in the cold? Who's going up and down? Is it good for the teams that are just barely making it where they are now? And if they have to go up higher, where's it going to go? You're close to this situation. It's just crazy.
Yeah, and for those that want to catch up with some of the folks that are key to these decisions, I caught up with Glenn White, who's part of the GHSA Executive Committee. I caught up with Stephen Kraft, the Athletic Director of Fulton County Schools, and Davis Russell, the head coach at Bremen, for an article at gpb.org. And there are some things that when you look at it, you know that there's going to be appeals. And I'm fairly certain that Bremen will appeal, just to give an example. Last time that we went through reclassification, there were 24 appeals, 17 of them were approved. And I think that when you look at it with the 3.0 multiplier, it became evident to the executive committee that 2.0 wasn't working. And you were still getting what was being perceived as athletic participation inequality when it came to the end result for each of the sports that you're looking at. And so Randy McPherson, I think in a previous meeting, the athletic director at Lowndes had suggested a 2.5 and removal of the cap. And I think that this is the key more than anything. I think that's the removal of the cap as to how many classes you can go up more than the 3.0 multiplier. I think that that's the key here in all of this, as opposed to just the multiplier. But you could have a situation, and this is right now before appeals as we're talking, you could have Blessed Trinity in 7A. You could have Woodward Academy in 7A because of the sheer percentage of student athletes that are out of zone. And that's the terminology that's used by the Georgia High School Association. So right now, the single A schools are being left alone. And I think that that's something else that needs to be monitored in this. Does that change as well over time? So you're seeing schools in 3 and 4 that could go up to 6 and 7. You're seeing schools in 4 that could go up to 7. Know that there will be appeals in this. I think Carrollton would end up going up to 6A, I think, as a part of the new run. But that's the key in all of this. When the new numbers come out, then we'll see what's going on. The other concern that I have is in 7A, as if Todd Holcomb's math is accurate. And there's an article at ajc.com and also at the Georgia High School Football Daily about it. If Todd's math is accurate, then what you will get is a 3-team 1-7A. Lowndes, Valdosta, and because Tiff went down to 6, and I think Colquitt, I think, is the 3rd team. There's a 3-team 1-7A in there somewhere. I think Camden drops to 6. I think it's just those 3 schools that are Lowndes, Valdosta, and a 3rd. I can't remember the 3rd off the top of my head. But a 3-team region, for me, that has to be addressed because I think that's too few games. Yes, everybody makes the playoffs, and that's fantastic. But once again, we get into the dynamic of 8 non-region games, 2 region games, all the travel. And then you get into the notion of this 3-team region. That's great for the non-revenue sports because of proximity. But then when you get into playoffs in the non-revenue sports, I think that creates a bit of a concern because of mileage and things like that. So keep an eye on the size of the proposed regions. And if you end up with too many mini regions, too many mini MINI dash regions, that's something that we've got to look at. But you could have a 3-team 1-7A, and I think that that's just too few schools to have in a region.
It's going to be crazy. We'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks, and I'll be looking for part 3 of the season coming up in about a month. That's going to tell us, and we'll do your bracketology when that happens. So quickly, where are you going to be Friday night?
When we know, you will know. And we have a couple of games in mind. So if you're not liking friending or being a part of the conversation when it comes to GPB, it's GPB Sports on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And follow along on all those platforms. And when we know where we're going to be on Friday night, we'll let you know. We have an idea. But, of course, wins and losses kind of play into this as well, plus region rivals, and we'll let everybody know. So just keep an eye on your platforms, and don't forget to download the GPB Sports app, available iOS and Android.
And he's all over the place. Appreciate it, Charlie. I know you got to run to another meeting or another interview. They got you going all over the place. Look forward to the second part of the season now. Then we'll get into the third part of the season, which is the icing on the cake. So we'll go from there.
You all, my friend.
Quickly, Auburn and Georgia this weekend. Auburn, I know.
course. I have to go with what the boss is saying here. It's Auburn. Yeah, that's what you have to say. Come on now.
Dad, have a good one.
Be good.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what more do you want me to say to you? I mean, the man is unbelievable. I mean, you gravitate to him. I mean, you know, we both miss the man, Tommy Palmer, and that's how we met. But, you know, he just does a great job with high school sports. He's also doing soccer down south. I mean, he's all over the place. But you want to get the perspective of what's going on in high school football, go to Georgia Public Broadcasting Sports Division and look up Jon Nelson. And, I mean, he just does a great job. So, once again, I appreciate him coming on. We're into the second part of the season. That's the region play of the season. And then we'll get into the icing on the cake, the third season, in about a month. Next up, we're going to finish this out. I don't start with the highlights anymore. I'm going to finish with the highlights because I even went too long for my second guest here. So I got to learn how to cut it a little short. I try to keep it 10 minutes, but it goes a little longer. But we're going to come up with 3 steps out the door, 4 videos, 4 highlights of what went on last night in high school football in the Savannah area. I'm sorry I didn't have all the games. I do appreciate you watching it, but I got to thank WJZL, Frank Silkowski, and Amy Zimmer for helping me out with these highlights. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Got to thank the people who sponsor the show. It's The Coach with Breakfast with the Coach at Coach's Corner. We're up here on the Coach's Corner, TEEPEE Pavilion. There it is, right behind me, that shoulder. Okay, it is an actual TEEPEE. They actually sleep here at night, or they stay up here to all hours of the night. And, of course, the man behind me, John Henderson's up here cleaning, getting around for the crew. You want to come up here to the TEEPEE Pavilion? Come in, make a donation at the bar, to the adult server, okay? Come on up, 10, 20, 30 bucks, and you can be part of this. John had his head shaved yesterday. He's got his tomahawk going. I'll give anybody the chance to shave my head if you donate $500 to help one of our own, local charity for 30 years that helps families that are in need of assistance during tough times. Also, he put this on my table for a little, I guess, props. But if you want to buy a Ronald Acuna bobblehead doll or donate and get this, it's got to be a big donation. This is John's prized possession right here. The man's a diehard Braves fan, and Acuna hasn't played all year. But once again, give some money to the cause. Help one of our own. You can have that bobblehead there. Okay, I've said enough. I'll be back in 3 minutes to end the show with highlights from Scriven, Savannah Christian, Jenkins, Benedictine, New Hampstead Beach, and the big one for the Windsor Forest Knights. Hold on. Okay, with their big win last night over Liberty County. It's all part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network.
All time, that's Coach's Corner and Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder why. Sports, live music, delicious and generous portions of pub food, all for our fans. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. It's always game time at Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick a TV, and Coach's Corner is your place. Coach's Corner is always open for lunch, dinner, and now breakfast, Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 10:30. But remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. John Harrison and Coach's Corner crew has smoked Boston butts, ribs, and chicken on the grill. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's 912-352-2933. As always, make it a night to remember at Coach's Corner.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, it comes in uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies. Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From cutting and equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a
Yo,
winner.
you still want some real New York deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia during this social distancing problem. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone, kabish. If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered, go to savtakeout.com, savtakeout.com to place the order. Remember, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering, we ain't New York style, we are New York.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can, at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, live every Saturday morning with Breakfast with the Coach at Coach's Corner. I'm up here on the Coach's Corner TEEPEE Pavilion. I guess it's about 2 stories high. It's about 800 square feet. We got big screen TVs up here. We're rooting for the Braves. It's a tradition at Coach's Corner when the Braves make the playoffs to put the TEEPEE up, to get the tomahawk chop going. And once again, it's to help a needy charity, not a needy charity, but a charity that's been here for over 30 years in Savannah, help one of our own. All the money raised goes to help one of our own. Last year was $30,000. Let's beat that. Hey, you want to shave my head or have my head shaved? $500. I'll do it for the needy cause. Okay. You want to get a Ronald Acuna bobblehead doll? Got to come up with the big bucks for this one. This is John Henderson's baby. Okay. And of course, over my shoulder. Whoops. Where am I going here? There we are. We're here. Looking at the TEEPEE right behind, and yes, they do sleep in the TEEPEE overnight, so they're up here. But anyway, I always say an hour and a half, it goes longer. I appreciate you for tuning in, but I got to thank the big guy, Frank Silkowski, and of course his sidekick, Amy Zimmer, for giving me highlights of games from the previous night. So if you didn't catch the frenzy, I'm going to hold it, and I'm also beeping to the cars. So if you drive by, beep your horn, someone's going to beep the truck horn, and you know we're up here having a good time. But anyway, and I try to, change it up a little from what they do on a Friday night. So I'm not as good as them, but we're going to give it a shot. So we're going to start with Thursday night matinee, Thursday night evening show, not a matinee. Savannah Christian took on Screven County. So let's see how this works. So here we go.
1, 2, 3. Let's go. Let's go.
Number 33, Austin.
Okay, and just so you know, Savannah Christian goes on to beat Screven County 35-13. Savannah Christian begins its 3-game stretch through the Region 3. It's the second part of the season, 3A private next week when the Raiders play at number 2, Calvary Day School. You better get there. The house is going to be packed. Calvary Day School coming in at 7-0, ranked number 2 in the state. All right, first region game for these two. Whoops, here we go down here. Benedictine taking on Jenkins. TV time out here. 2 more games to go. Okay, now let's go out to. We're going out to Garden City, where New Hampstead is taking on Beach. I'm trying to do this, so hang in there, people. Okay. Last night, Mr. Seeley, one of the top quarterbacks in the area, only a junior, was 15 to 22 for 207 yards, 2 scores in just the first half. Okay. Also significant, he didn't throw an interception. Jamal Coast, the guy you saw scored the last touchdown, he ran for 68 yards, 8 carries, and that's 8.5 yards carries. What's next? New Hampshire takes on. New Hampshire gets the region schedule, takes on my Islands Highest Sharks, October 15th at Island Stadium. Beach, they'll have to face Southeast Bullock in 2 weeks in region play. All right, here we go. Last one. Big win last night for the Knights. Technical difficulty. I'm going back and I'm going to start it all over. I hit the mute button. First place in Region 3A. They control their destiny. They got 3 games left. Caballero was the Knights' workhorse as he carried the ball 29 times for 182 yards. The week before, he had 186 yards, scoring the go-ahead touchdown on that 29-yard run. There were also a total of 260 yards in penalties in this game. Unbelievable, okay? Windsor Forest controls their destiny. They have 3 games left in Region 3A. They got to take on Southeast Bullock the last game of the year. Southeast Bullock is 4-1, but they lost last week to Liberty County, so it's going to be interesting. So next week, the Knights take on Groves. Liberty County host on Savannah High. So, I mean, it's a lot of fun up here. Once again, it's been a great show. Got to thank Stephen Elmo Weeks for doing the Georgia Bulldog breakdown and his picks. Got to thank Samari Dowdy, the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week, for coming on. Got to thank, of course, Jon Nelson, the guru of Georgia high school sports. And here we go. We're going to hit it. We're up on the Coach's Corner, TEEPEE Pavilion. Okay, my man Lawrence is getting ready. Chop on. Braves got to win today. They're down 1-0.
Go Braves!
Go Braves. Okay, got to beat that horn. They're down 1-0 in the best of 5 series. They lost last night 2-1. All right, I got to end this. Hold it. Okay. There we go. I couldn't do it backwards, Lawrence. So once again, it's been a great show. Thank you for listening. Thank you. I'll put up some cut-ups of the show, and it's always a lot of fun. Remember, the TP is up. We're on the Coach's Corner, TP Pavilion. We're raising money for the organization called Help One of Our Own. Last year, we raised $30,000. Someone put up $500 to cut my head last year. I'm asking somebody to do it again this year. Okay, there goes my notes out the door. It's getting a little breezy up here. So come on down. Go to the bartender. Donate some money. Come up and check it out. You can watch the Braves game. You can watch football all day long here at Coach's Corner. And once again, don't forget, we also got music in the Soundgarden tonight. Harvest Moon. Tribute band for Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young.
And Neil Young.
And Neil Young. Got to say, and Neil Young. Okay. It was Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, but somehow they broke up like all the good bands do. But come on out. Eventbrite, get your tickets. Tickets are going hot. You can also check out the TP when you come up here to check out the bands. Remember, it's all music, all sports, all food and fun since 1991. Hey, whatever you're doing today or tomorrow, always hit it at the park. Hopefully the Braves do. Okay? And until I see you next week, may be your best week ever. God bless. Remember, it's Breakfast with the Coach at Coach's Corner every Saturday morning from 9 to about 10:30. All right, I'm out of here. And remember, I'll be on the internet tonight at 6 o'clock. Flow Sports, Savannah State taking on Erskine, all part of the Black College Sports Network. Go Braves, go Dogs, go Tigers.